Best line of the movies ever. I'm going to pull the whole thing down. I'm going to bring down the whole fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on their heads. It's going to be biblical. Do you know what movie that is?
No.
Law-abiding citizen, one of the greatest. All right, you ready? Steve Bannon, Beyonce, Hunter Biden, Leon Black, Pam Bondi, John Brennan, George Bush, Cher, Bill Clinton, George Clooney, Bill Cosby, Alan Dershowitz, Michael Flynn, Bill Gates, Rudy Giuliani, Nikki Haley, Alec Baldwin. What's his name? Ehud Barak. How do you pronounce that? Ehud?
I don't know.
Ehud.
Yuhad?
Jeff Bezos, Jill Biden, Tony Blair, Dan Bongino, Cory Booker, Jeb Bush, Fidel Castro, Chelsea Clinton, Kurt Cobain, Ron DeSantis. That one hurts. Melinda Gates, Kamala Harris, Tony Hawk, Michael Jackson, Jay-Z, Woody Allen, William Barr, Joe Biden, Bono. What the fucking Bono? George Bush, Tucker Carlson, Dick Cheney, Hillary Clinton, James Comey, Robert De Niro, Merrick Garland, Lindsey Graham, Reid Hoffman, Mick fucking Jagger, Hakeem Jeffries, Janis Joplin, Jared Kushner, Nancy Mace, Thomas Massey, Benjamin Netanyahu, Kash Patel, Nancy Pelosi, the fucking Pope, Elvis Presley, Dan Quayle, Mitt Romney, Amy Schumer, Tim Scott, fucking Kevin Spacey, Monica Lewinsky, Howard Lutnick, John McCain, Gavin Newsom, your girlfriend AOC, Diana Ross, Adam Schiff, Chuck Schumer, Alex Soros, Larry Summers, Alex Jones, Elon Musk, Barack Obama, Rosie O'Donnell, Ronald fucking Reagan, Marco Rubio, Ben Shapiro, Bruce Springsteen, and Keir Sharma, and that fucking dickhead Eric Swalwell. That's like a small little fraction of people in these lists. So the reason I mention them is a couple of them.
Why is Ronald Reagan in those lists?
I don't know, man. What the fuck, bro? So
And the Pope.
just because the Pope doesn't surprise me though.
What the fuck?
Now we
Now, you
talked
gotta
about this last
understand,
time.
a lot of these people are on these lists and they did nothing wrong whatsoever.
Yes.
So let's make that very clear to everyone.
Yes.
Not
absolutely.
only for entertainment purposes only, but there's some factual and realistic belief on our parts.
Yeah. So just because they were there or on this list doesn't necessarily mean that they're the evil or, you know.
Well, can I give you a list? All right, this list is short, but at the end, I'll tell you what this list is. Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Prince Andrew, Alan Dershowitz, Chris Tucker, Kevin Spacey, Naomi Campbell, Larry Summers, Woody Allen, Glenn Dubin, Eva Anderson Dubin, George Mitchell, Ehud Barak, Leon Black, Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, I saw pictures of that.
Jean-Luc Brunel and Sarah Kellen. This list is a list of people ranging from one reported trip, that being Stephen Hawking, all the way up to 350 trips with Epstein's employee. These are out of the files, reported flight logs. Bill Clinton and Donald Trump are on those flight logs 26 times for Billy. And 8 times, it's a DOJ record that was put together. 8 times for Donald Trump. Prince Andrew 4 times. Chris Tucker 11. Freaky motherfucker. But yeah, what's going on here? Like, not one of these people, if they don't get killed, they just walk away from it. They have a
You know what blows my fucking mind? This is the part I can't wrap my fucking pea-sized brain around. Do you see people out there do you see people out there denying these things? Like these names.
We're being told to just move on. Why are we still talking about it?
These names though, like have you seen somebody like they're not defending themselves? It's almost like they have publicists that are like, listen, go on vacation, go to Greece for a couple months, fly under the radar, just be quiet, don't rattle any cages. This will all just go away. Trump's gonna silence it.
Wow.
None of them are out there like, well, Bill Gates, he had to apologize because he got gonorrhea on his face. But the only reason Bill Gates apologized is because his wife put him on fucking blast. His wife went out there and aired out his dirty laundry and was like, that dude's got demons he's got to answer to. So he had no choice.
So Ronan and I were talking about this, and we're starting here with these names, these lists, flight logs, actual factual reported data from the Department of Justice released files. But what we were talking about was like, what is this whole thing that we're starting to see? It's not the left, it's not the right, it's good versus evil. Are we at a time, are we at a tipping of the scales moment in our history of like just absolute unrest and chaos? And let me ask you this, Ronan, what does collapse actually mean? I mean, there were a couple notes I put together, but let me just tell you, most collapses begin with institutional dysfunction, not chaos. Would you say we have institutional dysfunction right now?
I would say the first you're going to see it's going to start with money, whether it be Wall Street or the banking system or
Well, let me interject really quick. The money, I think, is a given. But I think one of the biggest moves we're seeing right now is this law that's passing on federal votes or federal voting for federal positions in different offices requiring voter ID. I'm not against it, but it is fucking stirring the pot big time, man. Like, I think something big is going to happen just because of these small little things like this. And we just have the Epstein files in the background,
yeah, I
going
mean,
nowhere.
well, that's, they always say, look over there because we're doing shit over here. There's stuff going on with crypto. There's stuff going on with financing and the banks. The banks are crashing and silver and fucking gold. And they always want you over here because if you focus on what's really the problem, I think,
It's so funny you say that. There's foreign countries that right now, if they have someone in office or someone leading a major company and they are in those Epstein files, they're being removed from their jobs. They're being put out to the curb.
they have to.
They're being taken behind the barn and, taken care of.
And I've got a couple receipts of those people.
Like in America, you can get away with anything if you have money. If you are a person of power.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. Especially when uh, I don't think Trump realized how much this was going to upset us, because if you have children or a mother or a sister or a woman in your life, you cannot just turn a fucking blind eye to this. You cannot just, that's not like take one on the chin and move on. Like, there is no fucking moving on. Like,
So
this
you
is
and
it.
I feel that way because we live by that set of rules and standards. If you and I did any of those acts or horrible things, we would be in prison in no time. We would never see
Absolutely.
our kids growing up. We would rot in there, and I think that's the double standard that people are sick and tired of. At least I am. I really sat there the other day thinking to myself, I'm like, why the fuck do I pay taxes? Why don't I just change my exemptions and not pay taxes anymore? Almost 40% of my money goes away to, someone else.
It's like you pay taxes, then you buy something, you pay taxes on that, then you sell something, you pay taxes on that, and then it's like you just pay like taxes on the same item 3 different fucking times. And then they just turn around and either give it away to the fucking Somalians, or they just fucking, I heard something today that Kamala Harris, right? She had like $1 billion for her campaign, and this
She
bitch
had one
ended
of
up
the largest campaign funds in the history of
this bitch and
presidential elections.
she ended up $20 million in debt. If she would have become president, who do you think would have paid that fucking $20 million debt?
You and I.
You and I. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
that's another thing. Why
unbelievable.
are we responsible for, political people, that hold these offices? They're responsible for the money that we pay into the system through taxes. If they fuck up, we have to pay for it on the backside.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is that shit?
So I saw an
No
article.
cussing.
What?
No cussing.
You're not cussing?
No, never mind. Go ahead.
I'm going to try to not get too flagged because
Yeah.
I'm going to drop other bombs. But I saw an article about Tim Walz asking for like $10 million for small businesses because they've been economically devastated. It's like, what?
Wait a minute. That motherfucker's.
What are you talking about, bro? You're opening up clearing centers all over the place. Why would we give you more money? And why am I like, is this guy's got like the brain of a goldfish. Like he forgets what happened 2 days ago. And like these people, they're lunatics, dude. These people in these high positions, they feel like they're so untouchable. And you know what, dude? I think they're bragging. I think we're at a point right now where they're bragging. It's like, they put everything in your face, right? Now it's just like, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can get away with that. Yeah, we can do that. We don't need this. But now it's just like a slap in the face. It's like,
Okay,
yeah.
so we're experiencing this slap in the face. We're experiencing the bragging. When are people going to wake up and do something about it? When are we
So,
just done with this shit? When do we know that, we've hit the point where we need to just, like, how long does this go on for?
well,
It's just unbelievable.
the biggest question is how? How do we retaliate? How do we hit back? It's not like we can go fucking rogue and
We
you're not
can't.
gonna run
100%
around
correct. But I will tell
fucking
you,
Wild West.
it was all part of the master plan in creating this type of system. I guarantee you there's a little paragraph written when writing the business plan for this saying create such a system that makes people depend on, some of the comforts of living.
Yes. And
People
that's
are,
where
my point is this, people are worried, they're pissed, but they're worried at the same time. Like, oh my God, where am I going to get my Wonder Bread? Where am I going to get my cereal? Where am I going to grab my milk? They don't know how to survive. They don't know, what to do.
that's where you
I think
start.
at some point, yeah, you just got to
That's
just,
where you start. So, for example, if those names I just mentioned, if those names bother you, you stop buying Teslas, you stop investing in Microsoft, you stop buying shit on Amazon, you never buy anything from Wayfair ever again. You don't let your kids get pictures at their fucking school. You have to hit them where it hurts, which is money.
yes,
Like
but Ronan, the problem is this. They are so ingrained into more people than we want to realize. You and I are open to the fact that, they're bad and we shouldn't support their causes, but most people have the Shelley effect.
But that's my point. If any, you asked at what point do we get to like the top, right? Until these people wake up and they get frustrated to a point where they have to take action. Like remember what happened with Anheuser-Busch with that tranny, right? People were like, "Fucking, I'm never buying Bud Light again." That hurt them bad.
Yeah.
That hurt them really, really bad. That's how you hit back. You hit back at, obviously you can't go chain up Bill Gates. But what you could do is you could say, you know what? I'm never fucking investing in I'm looking at the Microsoft chart right now and it's still going up. Tesla's still going up. Like JP Morgan's still going up. Like that shit blows my mind how you can be on these lists and still be a profitable fucking business. That blows my mind.
Let's shift gears here. Let's shift gears here for one moment. Do you think that this is just a clear sign of like the end times and the devil working his magic or doing his thing? I mean, are we in, the most popular book on the planet is the Bible, yet people like you and I are too scared to talk about it because we don't know enough about it. But fuck it, I'm going to talk about it. Like, is this something bigger than politics? Is this all smoke and mirrors?
I mean,
Does the devil exist?
I personally think it is generational families and entities that have been so ingrained in this world that they are literally untouchable to the point now they don't even fucking care if they're doing these things because there's nothing we can do about it. That's what makes it even scarier is it's no longer like, first of all, it's no longer a conspiracy. The can is open. Anyone with half a fucking hour of time to research can see what's going on, dude. I read some shit tonight that I wish to God I never even fucking opened.
Did you
But
look at it through the files in the website?
yeah, dude, it was letters. I
You
don't
don't
even
have to
know.
tell me. Every couple of days, I jump in there and spend about an hour in there,
I'm gonna
just
send you.
hoping that I catch that big fish. Like, there's 3 million files.
I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna screenshot you. You know what? I'll even put it on blast right now. Hold on a second.
Let's do it. Let's talk about it. Actually,
Oh, I don't know if we could talk. Oh,
let's talk about it.
okay. So I'm just gonna read the file number. Where'd it go?
The way it's listed on the site?
Yes, there's 4 of them.
All right, hold on. I want to play with you. So I'm going to jump in there really quick.
Okay, so I think this is the one that was pretty
What's the
fucking dark.
file number?
It's called EFT.
Hold on one second. FTA.
Yeah, 0273
Yep.
1361. So these are letters. They're encrypted letters that I guess these girls were using. Like, you know how you could do like numerology that matches with letters and numbers?
Close your eyes, close your
Yeah.
eyes.
So,
Don't speak. What is this?
dude,
This is sick.
okay, so basically what these are, they're letters from girls, young girls who were impregnated by Jeffrey, and Jeffrey and Ghislaine were using her for the fetus. So they were basically like taking the baby from this kid when she was pregnant and taking the baby from the kid, and the kid never sees the baby again, and the baby is like, they take it and it's gone. And she's a slave, like she's trapped and she can't get out of this world. Like, dude, this shit is a lot deeper than we thought. Like, you know, when you think about it, it's like, oh, you know, sexual trafficking and this and that. Dude, there's like more craziness. Believe it or not, there's crazier shit going on.
Dude, this is sick. This is 32 pages. You know,
read the text, not the message, not the like the things that she posted. Read where it actually encrypts it, where it says what the when they decipher
have
the
the
code.
file open.
Yeah, there'll be
I'm reading all of it.
So,
like right now, I'm reading one U.S. shelter has rescued 10,000 child prostitutes.
So let me ask you something. How long have I known you?
39
years. Okay, so let's call it 40. And we've lived together. We grew up together. Like, we've done the most incriminating shit ever. If I was ever going to run for public office, I would have to unalive you because you're the one that could ruin that for me. You know all my skeletons, right? Have we ever in our relationship ever talked about jerky? Jerky. Beef jerky.
Yeah.
We have?
We bought it. It said go into 7-Eleven and grab me some jerky.
Yes. Have we ever like emailed each other about jerky and like discussed jerky and stuff like that? So jerky is used like 3,500 times in those files. Type in the
jerky? Word babies.
Sick fucks, man. I swear to God. I've never been so mad in all my life than this, like these people. So jerky is a code name, right? They have code names. You want to hear some of them? So jerky is like, you remember when Donald Trump was like, they're eating the dogs and eat the cats, eat the dogs. Well, jerky is, some people are saying, are humans. They're eating humans, right? We all know they drank their blood.
The word jerky.
I
just want to see what comes up.
So they have
humans, babies.
Code names, right? Hot dog means boy. Pizza means girl. Cheese means little girl. Pasta means little boy. Ice cream means male prostitute. Walnut means black kids. Map means semen. And sauce means orgy. So they have these, you remember Pizzagate, right?
Yeah, pedo pizza party.
Yeah, so they have all these fucking code names, and jerky is like, there's emails about like overnighting jerky, like flying jerky in, and how was the jerky, and the jerky was delicious, and I had so much fun with the jerky, and fucking dude, all kinds of.
Reading one right now, Saturday, May 4th, 2013. Francis has time to come tomorrow to show me how to make it. Jerky class, anyone? He will also bring you a new taste of his jerky recipe from the restaurant and sends a warm hello. He is working at a restaurant called Cannibal and Cooks.
Yeah, it's in, yep.
Wait
it's in
for it. Beef jerky and steak. What the fuck? And we're supposed to not talk about this anymore?
Yeah. And you want to hear something crazy?
Bro, I'm posting this.
So the owner of Cannibal and Cooks, the chef, he has opened a new restaurant. He's opening new restaurants in New York as we speak. He's still in business.
Feet and elbows? I mean, what the fuck is going on, Ronan? Like, this
So,
is actually in the file.
yes. So this guy, I forget his name. There's a dude, I have too much time on my hands.
Dude, look at J.E. Jeffrey Epstein is asking to bring him more beef jerky on Friday. Are you also flying on Friday? If not, I would like to collect it from you and take with me on the plane. Please let me know. This is sick.
Dude.
This is sick.
Yeah. So
nobody takes the time to specify beef jerky on its own.
well, first of all, it doesn't say beef jerky, it just says jerky, right?
Actually, the subject of this one says subject beef jerky.
Okay. So
Yeah.
my point is, you and I have been best friends for almost 40 years, and I'm willing to bet all of my XRP that says I've never texted, emailed,
Yeah, not like that.
ever
It's
once.
literally in the moment. Hey, are you running in? Grab me some beef links or something.
Yeah, and even that over 40 years has probably happened once, twice.
This is sick. Can I read another one really quick? They're small and simple.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy.
That's yeah.
Just wanted to touch base about jerky. Yeah, let's touch base about jerky. J.E. said he was going to start eating regular food again, so he might be eating less jerky. That said, he has 6 bags of it in the downstairs freezer for his next what?
I told you I was
bags of it in the downstairs freezer for his next trip. I believe it should be good enough to get him through. Any questions? This is unreal.
I told you I was going scorched earth tonight. So these are the things that.
Let's stop talking about this, please.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
Right, yeah. So we're gonna switch gears here. So how do we fight back? How do we fight back, right? Okay. My kids are in school. Your kids are just on their way out of school. Every year they get pictures taken, right? You know, when you get dressed up and you fucking do your hair and the kid gets all fancied up. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
the school pictures. Okay.
Sorry, I'm also in such disbelief that like I am reading this right now.
All right, well, we'll lock in with me here. All right, no more jerky. We'll get back into that. So here's how we hit back, right? So the company that takes these pictures, there's like 2 companies that do this, and the biggest company is take the school pictures, the student pictures of the kids, and the company is called Life Touch, right? Yep. So Life Touch, they send in the photographer.
Maxwell's daddy owns it, right?
Blah, 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 blah. Huh?
Maxwell's daddy owns it?
No. He owns
that was textbooks. Leon Black, right?
Leon Black. So anyway, so fast forward, Leon Black, right? Okay. So Leon Black owns that. The company that owns Life Touch is Shutterfly. The company that owns Shutterfly is Apollo Global Management, which is owned by Leon Black, and who I found out who else also is a partner in Apollo Global, Joshua Harris. Do you know who he is? He's the fucking new owner of the Washington Commanders.
Shit, that's right. Yeah, but it threw me for a loop. I know who he is. Yeah.
So now I gotta fucking burn this helmet behind me. So yeah, when I saw that, I was like, what? I thought Dan Snyder would have been in I didn't see his name anywhere that's fucking crazy. So check me out, right? So I went down a rabbit hole about Leon Black. Leon Black married a woman and her name is Deborah. So Leon's wife is Deborah Black.
Debbie Black.
And she is the trustee of the Rockefeller University. Interesting name, Rockefeller. That's the bloodline I was talking about.
Well,
his wife's brother, so Debbie's brother, Tony, his name is Tony Ressler. He also co-founded Apollo, and he also owns the Atlanta Hawks, the NBA basketball team. Hold on a sec. So we have an NBA team owner. We have an NFL owner. Kind of sounds elitish to me, right? So the 2 words that pop up to me when I'm going down these little rabbit holes, you remember when Hunter Biden was like outselling his art? Like he's some fucking like Picasso. So they all use art. I see art everywhere. And every name that I look up, there's either philanthropy or art. So they come off as like these prestigious fucking, bro, do you know how easy it is to say that this We the People thing, I'll sell it to you for $100 million? oh, I love it, I'll buy it. It could cost $15. So they use art as a way of money laundering, right?
The way they were selling cabinets on Wayfair for $15,000.
I just saw, bro, I just saw where did it? I just saw a table on Wayfair, a glass table that is $194,000.
That sounds like a little Chinese girl or something.
Yeah, I think
194, that's a Chinese girl, you know.
Wayfair is one of those other companies. Don't buy from Wayfair. So I'm looking at all these things, right? And I'm like, wow, dude, like you start following the money. They always say follow the money, right? So here's another one. LinkedIn is founded by Reid Hoffman, right? He's another name that you're going to see a lot in these files. LinkedIn, I didn't know this until today, is also owned by Microsoft. Who owns Microsoft? Bill Gates. They're all fucking, dude, they're all in it, dude. They're all like tangled up with each other. You know, when you look at a grocery store, when you go into a grocery store, 94% of it is owned by 3 companies: State Street, Vanguard, BlackRock.
Here we go. Here we go. You said it right there, and I don't even think you realized what you were saying. They're all tangled together. That
like
entanglement creates a strength that is unstoppable by you and I.
It's untouchable because
if we fail here, we have it here, and we move things around and rebrand a new name and this and that.
And going back to what you said 5 minutes ago about when people are starting to get outed and they're getting fired or whatever, they're not getting fired, bro. They're just changing the fucking guard. So, for example, there's like, use like Lysol, for example, right? Lysol is you would think is owned by Lysol. It's owned by a company, and then a company owns the company, and then the company is owned by BlackRock.
Yeah.
So, like when you go into a grocery store and it's
curious to see what that is.
You go into a grocery store and it's like Dave's Family Bread. You're like, fuck yeah, Dave. Like, let's go. Dude, it's owned by Hostess. It's owned by, you know what I mean? Like, it's owned by BlackRock. Everything is fucking owned by BlackRock. So where you think you're like beating the rat race, you're not. So when you look at stuff like this and you realize, holy shit, dude, like everything is owned by the same group of people and they all own it. You know, they're sitting around a table. I always remember that one scene in Star Wars where there's like 30 of them all sitting around in a circle. And then the fucking Palpatine or whatever is in the middle. That's how this works, man. They're all in it and they work together.
Listen to who's the 3 largest owners of Procter and Gamble. You ready?
BlackRock,
Vanguard,
State Street.
Bam!
Well, what a fucking lucky guess that was.
Those 3.
Pick another company. Let's pick Wonder Bread.
It's ridiculous.
I'm telling you, bro. They're all fucking in, dude. It's crazy. So, and then you have family members. So Leon Black marries Deborah. Deborah's in the Rockefeller Center. And then her brother, he's fucking this and that. They like, what are the odds of... did you know that Jeffrey Epstein won the lottery?
What the fuck does that mean? You being serious?
Jeffrey Epstein's trust or his LLC won a lottery from the Zorro Ranch. Have you ever heard of the Zorro Ranch?
No.
He has a ranch in New Mexico. Big. It's like a. I don't want to get in trouble. It's like an Epstein Island on land. It's a inland Epstein Island. It's called the Zorro Ranch.
It even says it when you pull it up. It doesn't even say formally owned. It just says Zorro Ranch was a large private property in Santa Fe County, New Mexico, owned by Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah. So he won a fucking lottery, dude. Like Jeffrey Epstein's out buying lottery tickets. You hear all the fucking shady shit about I'll never buy a lottery ticket the rest of my life. It's all, you know, have you ever heard, I was talking to Aaron about this. Have you ever heard once in your life someone who's won the lottery? You always hear about them going broke and like dying. You always hear them about like dying and shit, right? Have you ever heard a person who won the lottery and like created like a foundation for homeless kids or like recovering addicts? Or have you ever heard them anything?
Never.
Build a hospital. You know, the guy wins $940 million. He never fucking opened like a kids care, none of it, right? Because you would remember that. But the thing is that who's winning this money? If I came up to you and I said, hey, John, I got an idea. I'm going to give you $1 million. I'm going to have you go do this. You're going to sit down and say that you bought this ticket and you won this ticket. I'm going to give you $1 million in cash, briefcase. You got to sign this NDA. You can never talk about it. What are you going to say to me?
Okay.
You're going to be like, sure, fucking let's go. And then I'm going to keep the rest, right? Think about that. Think about how many times have you ever seen the lottery where it's like $750 million, $850 million. You think dickheads like you and I are winning that fucking money?
No.
Shit.
I never even thought about that before.
Yeah, bro, we ain't winning that motherfucking money. Listen, when your brother won the Coca-Cola at McDonald's, that was like the closest anyone's ever going to get to fucking winning $1 million.
No, one of my aunts, she won like, if I'm not mistaken, on a lottery, she won like $30,000 or $40,000, and she split it up 3 ways and gave it to all her kids.
Well, see, they have to that's the bait, dude. You got to at least have somebody winning something.
Sure,
But when
yeah.
when you hit like above that like 70, $80 million, no, buddy, that's going straight back to the fucking people. And here's me and you running out. Oh my God, the more money it is, we buy more tickets.
We should look up former Mega Millions winners and see where they are in life.
Have you noticed that lately when they win now, they can receive the money without publicly admitting?
Disclosing themselves.
I saw a guy a couple months ago, motherfucker had like a full like Scream mask on. I'm like, dude, that could be.
You know who that guy is? That's the guy that took
Jeffrey.
signed the DNA and.
That's the guy who signed the DNA.
Took the $1 million.
All right, so yeah, dude, I'm questioning fucking everything now. All right, you ready to get have some fun?
Yeah, I got to push my chair back. Go ahead and ask the question.
All right, where are you going?
Nowhere.
You got to take poo-poos?
No,
all right, listen.
Adjust my chair.
All right, you know the saying, show me your friends, I'll show you your future, right?
Yeah, there's many versions of that saying, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so you kind of hang out with the people that you get down with. You kind of do the same stuff. You and I, very similar in a lot of things, good and bad. But, you know, if you're down with something, other than the Formula E, you and I are pretty even keeled on everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
but
so
Chelsea's better than the Spurs.
Dude, the Spurs are about to be fucking relegated, dude. The Spurs are in like 14th or 15th place. They're dog shit. All right, you ready? Mr. Sean Combs.
Okay.
The Diddler. Okay. Who was one of his best friends in like early to mid 2000s? Ashton Kutcher.
What's his name? That fucking Justin Bieber.
No. Well, that was a different type of friend. One of Diddy's best friends was Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
Right? Super tight. Super tight, right? Okay. And one of Ashton Kutcher's best friends, well, before I even go down this road, so we all know what the Diddler did, right? The Diddler is basically spider web off of Jeffrey Epstein, right? Okay. So one of Ashton Kutcher's best friends.
Hopefully not with children.
Well, look what happened with Bieber. He's underage. Let's just say minors. Doesn't necessarily mean children.
I'm talking about jerky.
That's different. Dude, the jerky fucking will keep you up at night. I've woke up at like 2:30 in the morning and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Jerky. Anyway, so Ashton Kutcher and Diddy, good friends. You think Ashton was kind of getting down like that? Maybe. So one of Ashton's best friends is Danny Masterson. Do you know who he is?
I don't.
Okay. So the guy, the curly head dude from that 70s show. Also, did you ever watch The Ranch?
No.
Dude, The Ranch is dope, dude. It's a Netflix series about Ashton Kutcher and Danny Masterson. They live out in like Colorado with their dad and they work on this farm and they're a bunch of fucking drunk lunatics, right? They're idiots. So, do you remember what happened with Danny Masterson, right? Why he has disappeared?
No, I do not know.
So, he has disappeared from the limelight because he is in prison he was convicted for 2 counts of rape in 2023. Raped 2 people back in like 2003.
Okay. Were they minors?
Yes. And he is, I believe so. And he's in prison like for good. Like he's gone. So you're never going to see that guy again. Right. So now I'm sitting here thinking about it. I'm like, wait a minute. Ashton Kutcher, two of his great friends that we know about are sex offenders, like convicted sex offenders, right?
2 people we know?
Diddy and Danny Masterson. That's
Oh, I
just
thought
the
you were
ones
talking
that we
about,
know
like,
about.
personal people we know.
I know, but like the ones that we know about, right?
Yeah.
So you start thinking like, wow, that's kind of fucking bizarre. Like, what's the odds of you having two really good friends and they're both getting down like that and you're clean, right? So then he goes and he marries Demi, right? Remember when he married Demi Moore?
Yep.
Okay. So him and Demi opened a thing called Thorn,
I thought
right?
you were gonna call it cannibal soup or something.
No. They opened this thing called Thorn, which is basically when they first opened it, it was called the DNA Foundation in 2009. Remember that date, 2009. What happened in 2009?
Well, I remember 2008, we had the economic collapse.
2009 is when Jeffrey Epstein was convicted and guilty in 2009. So that's when the world knew who he was. Coincidentally, Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore open up this foundation called Thorn, and it was basically it was like a tech company that tried to it was basically trying to minimize child trafficking and things like that, right? So
Yeah.
now all of a sudden he's like, oh shit, I need to like go and play for the other side. Now he's trying to like he's saving kids, right? So in 2023, he had to step down. He had to leave his job because he was getting fired from his job the same way you had said earlier.
What,
Because
with Thorn?
yes, so Demi,
Ashton?
yes, Ashton had to remove himself from because he's trying to make the world better by resolving child trafficking and things like that. Do you know why he had to step down?
I'm reading here, it says something about public criticism and backlash over a character reference letter he
Yes.
and his wife Mila Kunis wrote in support of their former co-star Danny.
So they sent a letter to a judge asking leniency for Danny Masterson, right? So we're supposed to believe that this guy has this foundation to protect children, and then he turns around and he writes a fucking letter asking the judge to let his boy off for doing some diddler shit with the kid. Come on. So last little piece with this Thorn thing, right? So one of the members on the board, his name is Ray Chambers. He is the ambassador global strategic for the World Health Organization. Why would that dude need to be involved with that? Again, the fucking spider web, bro. They're all fucking linked, dude. This is it's crazy. It's like the more you dig, the more you realize how fucked up this is. It's like, the remember last week I was talking about the Satoshi Nakamoto. Did you know that the first like big institutional payment for Bitcoin was made with Microsoft?
What the fuck is going on? Dude, like, none of this is
Two
gonna
best friends.
change.
Hey,
This will be brushed under the rug, and we're gonna be lost in something new. And I'm telling you, the next thing to stop the Epstein thing,
it's gonna have to be big, like a pandemic or something. It's gonna have to be major big. And if you look through those files, there's emails about talking about get ready for the pandemic.
Pandemics.
This is what we're gonna do, and da 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 da. Listen, you and I talked the other night, right? And I was fucking hot, dude. I was fired up because I'm conservative, right? You're conservative. I've always been like on the fence with Trump. I like things about him. I don't like things about him. The video, the racist ass video he did with the Lion King shit, that was just reckless and dumb. It just adds more fuel to the fire of people hating on him, right? The name calling and this, that, whatever, dude. The sombreros and AI videos. Come on, you're the fucking president, dude. Like, that's shit that you and I can do. I don't want my president fucking putting sombreros on politicians' heads when we have this kind of stuff going on. So, it's like, and that's what, to me, it's no longer like, if you go back to our shows weeks ago, we're like fucking libtards and this retard.
Yeah.
And to me, it's not even about that anymore. It's about good and evil. And what's crazy is that when you and I talked about this show, I realized that I only have like
Nothing but bad.
One or two good people, and I don't know if they're good. Like, I think they're good, but maybe they're just
There's a very good chance
good at hiding.
there are some good people, but
So back to your, like,
I
the
don't even know
devil.
what to say.
It's like the devil. Like, is there a devil, or is there just a bunch of sick motherfuckers, dude? Like, that shit's scary, bro. Jerky. Like, this is like a whole nother, like, that case I gave you. If you want, I can give you 3 more. That was just one I gave you. You know, like they're talking about impregnating kids and taking their fetuses. And she even says, like, I'm not your incubator. What the fuck, dude? How do these people, bro, if I go to the fucking Publix down here, the grocery store, and I don't scan something correctly in the fucking in the walk and go, whatever the fuck it's called,
Yeah, the self
bro, I
checkout.
feel like somebody's gonna follow me outside and arrest me. You know,
Yeah.
if I get pulled over and I don't comply, I feel like I'll go to jail. And these motherfuckers are literally out just making a circus, dude, and they don't give a fuck, man. They're throwing it in your face. So there's one guy I want to talk about,
All right.
and this guy has just gone on my radar. So how do you feel about Trump in general, or like how he's handling this
So there's a
particular?
part of me that is very confused about the whole entire Epstein files being released. And the reason I'm saying this is because it directly goes with your question. For so many years, the Department of Justice had access to all of those files under the Biden administration. They were never released. Trump pushed the agenda because people kept pushing the agenda. And he said, fuck it, just release the files. Who in the world is going to just incriminate them their own self?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, so it has me confused as to what's going on. I honestly don't think he was going to release those files if he believed that there was something in there that, you know,
Or
would put him under the microscope.
is there a way that he released the files and had his stuff and his closest people redacted or removed?
Okay, let me ask you this then.
That's a
You talk
possibility.
about having it redacted. There is 8 recorded accounts of him being on the flight log for one of Epstein's planes. Don't you think they would have removed that one little tiny bit of information if they were removing information?
Well,
And I
it
say
doesn't incriminate
tiny,
him.
but who the fuck, you know, tell me who your friends are, I'll tell you who you are, you know. Like, who the fuck is going to go on that plane and not have an ulterior motive?
I hear people say, like, "Oh, he's guilty. He's in the files." Is there a file that said he did something? Like,
No, but there is that one file, and
the
somebody did
girl,
share it. The one with the girl
the
buried, or
13-year-old?
somebody buried on the golf course. It was the FBI interview that was done. Now, let me see if I can find it.
I did see a file that said, I think she was 13, and she said that him and Jeffrey did something to her, but they didn't pursue it. Like, so it was like hearsay. Again, like, this is what liberals don't understand. If that motherfucker is in that file and he did some shit, we will turn on that motherfucker real quick.
Absolutely.
You guys stay home. We'll go get him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what liberals don't get. I see people online. They're
There
like,
you go.
"Oh,
Right
how would
here.
you feel if your
This
king?"
was in there. Have you seen this?
Oh yeah, about burying somebody on the 18th
Yeah,
hole
I
or
mean
some shit.
that. If you're going to take the time to redact the files and clean them up, doctor them up in your favor, and you're saying, okay, Pam, let's release these, but before we release this, we need to remove file whatever this is.
Yeah,
Golf
can you
course
go down a
19th
little bit?
hole.
Can you
Yeah,
scroll down
yeah.
so our viewers can fucking peep that shit?
Blank was
Sex
recently
party.
interviewed by an FBI agent. However, he felt triggered as a victim and did not report all of the information. Blank had
Robin
recordings
Leach.
of Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein, and Ghislaine Maxwell discussing marketing strategies for high-profile sex parties at the Donald Trump golf course. However, Blank mailed the recordings to a lawyer in the Cayman Islands. Blank was part of the Sinaloa cartel and worked closely with Epstein and Maxwell. However, he was able to walk away from the cartel due to his status with Epstein and Maxwell. In the recordings, Trump stated he was aware of the underage sex parties and charged the house money of the golf course to fund the sex parties. Blank witnessed Robin Leach strangle a young girl during a sex party. He claims she was buried behind the 19th hole at the Donald Trump golf course. Blank is aware of 3 separate occasions in which girls were murdered and buried there. Blank was told if he spoke about the incident he witnessed, he would end up in the hole as well. Blank gave Maxwell the idea to put cameras in at the golf course to review the cartel members and understand how to market the 12 to 14-year-old victims to the cartel.
That's crazy, dude.
That right there would be the first thing removed. That's a horrible thing. Talking and mentioning Trump. So
it is confusing because if I'm Joe Biden and I'm the Democrats, and if I had any evidence that could bury him, I would have brought it out.
Absolutely.
And you start thinking, when you're talking about confusion, you're like, well, why didn't they do this then?
I mean, if you ask me, this piece of paper right here is just as incriminating as, him having files in his garage at Mar-a-Lago. Classified documents sitting in the garage there.
It's definitely very confusing. It's very dark. It's very, it fucking opens your eyes, man. Like, it takes when everyone thinks, oh, conspiracy theorists, this and that. Well, the conspiracy theorists are winning fucking 33-0. We're definitely like opening doors, Same thing, like I post every day. The government's been shut down on a partial shutdown. I haven't seen one fucking plane fart. I haven't seen one trail in the skies in fucking weeks. But the minute that bitch reopens, guess what? They're gonna see the fucking plane trails. Yeah, there's just...
This is one of those disgusting feelings I'm having after we did the last episode. I feel the same way again. I will tell you, recently I have almost just felt like I was in a state of disgust and just in a totally different world. Like, drives into work seemed pointless, and standing around at work watching people going on about their daily lives seemed pointless. It literally is a rat race. It is like we are being looked at from up above and seeing if we can find the end of the maze.
Yeah, it's like sucks. dangle the carrot, and it's crazy, dude, because like I've caught myself being like, I've caught myself like more angry lately, and like more like shorter with people, and it's like a constant battle of good versus evil. Like, I feel like I'm the good, but the evil is so outnumbered, and they have the power, they have the money, they have the means to, they have, like, I'm talking to Aaron yesterday about getting a flip phone, because the phone, dude, I think, is the worst invention of our generation. Because, and when I say worst, I mean, like, it literally, like, if you let it, which sometimes I do, like, it's just it's addicting to get hooked into just doom scrolling, this, that, and the other. And it's like, you think that those companies aren't out there making ways to make it more addicting? How do you think they get the kids? Look at fucking kids, dude. They're like little fucking junkies, dude. They're like little fucking phone junkies. And, it's just...
we were laughed at for all these conspiracy theories years ago, but I'm going to stick to this one. I just don't know when I'll ever see the proof of it. But I honestly believe phones are the worst thing ever created, like you were saying. And we will see. I think we are still have yet to see the worst to come. I mean,
oh yeah,
I just think, but it is scary to think that something really bad has to happen to put this Epstein file on the back burner.
Yeah, because it's the number one thing right now, and I think,
we said it before. Look at September 12th, 2001. That was one of the best days in the history of America. There was unity, and there was purpose for people to be patriotic.
Yeah.
And that all stemmed from an absolute disaster.
Yeah. Well, like what we were talking about the other day is, I get so annoyed listening to Trump talk. It's like the same fucking, it's like he has the same speech. It's like, I'm the greatest and I'm the best.
Has the beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, it's like, I'm the greatest of all time and no one's ever been as great as me. And it's like, shut the fuck up, dude. So when we were talking, it hit me. I was like, you know what, dude? He's so pressed and so narcissistic about being number one, right? Do we agree with that?
Absolutely.
Okay. He has a golden goose in his hand right now. And right now, the world has been very clear that Epstein is number one. That's the cat's pajamas, dude. He has the golden wand to either fuck that thing up really bad, or he could be king shit at Turd Island, dude. And I don't think he realizes how much people want this done right. And when I heard him say, and Caroline Levitt said, we're moving on, the fuck we are. We are moving on, bitch.
Yeah, bro,
You better
but
buckle up.
years before these files were ever released, I always said it to anyone I had a conversation with about this, and I think I've even said it to you. Releasing these files, I think, was always something in every sitting president's the back of their mind. I honestly believe that in the back of their minds, they thought to themselves that releasing these files, no matter who we're going to incriminate, is going to cause chaos and unrest. Why Trump agreed to it? I think there's more to it. He's not a senile old man who's just going to sit there and be like, oh, yeah, well, they're asking. Let's just release them.
Yeah.
There's more to it. There's so much more to it. Somebody's head's going to roll. Something big's going to happen. And I think
you remember
that
when
card isn't played yet is because when that something happens,
Well,
half
let
the
me-
country, half the
let me-
world is going to lose their minds.
let
I
me
think
throw
we
this
have
out
a
here.
lot more to see.
So when he was running and he was like,
Who?
yeah, Trump, he was like, we're going to release the Epstein files. We're going to release all the alien stuff. And then we're going to release the JFK files, which we haven't even really talked about. And then he said he was going to release the 9/11 stuff. So if we have all this stuff going on with Epstein, what do you think is going to happen with the 9/11 stuff?
I don't even know where to begin because my brain goes in 80 million different directions. Was this an inside job? Did Bush know that he was going to be approached in that elementary school, that day? What the fuck? Who the fuck knows, dude?
That's my point, is like, now, dude, any little bit of a conspiracy I've ever it's been put in front of me, I'm gonna have to lean with it's probably true.
And look at how sick that is. If that is a conspiracy theory, 9/11, that is true. Look at all those people that lost their lives on those planes just to create a cover. Those planes really rocked those buildings. Did they take them down?
Did they?
I don't know.
Did they?
They hit
I
them.
saw a video, bro.
I think they hit the buildings. I think that part really happened, but I don't think it was the plane that took the building down. I think it was, planted explosives going up those columns and those stairwells and those beams.
And then the Pentagon, I'm not buying that. That was a plane. I don't know, man. People, I don't know. Anyway, that's a whole think about George Bush. He's probably thinking like, fuck, man, keep going with the Epstein stuff. Please don't please don't come to me, dude. Please let me go. But it's, I keep going back to Mel Gibson, and they always tell you, and oh, he's off his meds, he's crazy, he's a fucking lunatic. And then you find out, you're like, wait a minute, that motherfucker was pretty good, dude. Like, he was spot on, man. They blacklisted him because he was speaking out. They didn't like that shit, so they told us that he was fucking crazy, and we listened to it because they told us every day how crazy he was. He's a crazy man. He's crazy, crazy, crazy. Putin. We're told all the time about how fucking Putin is the devil. Putin, devil, 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 devil. You know what, dude? I don't know, man. The more I fucking read into this guy, I'm gonna have to say that they're wrong, because like I told you the other day, in 2012 or 2014, he made a law that Americans cannot adopt Russian kids. Like, what the fuck is that all about? What does he know that we, like, could you imagine being like, yes, no, you cannot adopt these children. No fucking chance. Because he knows.
I have a friend who's from Ukraine, and he has his first language is Russian. A lot of Ukrainians, they speak Russian before they don't even know how to speak Ukrainian, some of them. And it's because his mother was Ukrainian but worked in Russia or something like that, and met a guy and they had him. Well, anyways, long story short, he was telling me that there are so many Ukrainians and you'll never hear this on Western media, ever, ever, ever. There's so many Ukrainians that support and love and defend Putin. Ukrainians. You know, they think Zelensky is a fucking joke.
He's a
They
puppet.
don't respect him. He is a puppet. He's a fucking, what do you call
A
it?
lot of people say that Zelensky is owned by Israel.
Man, I heard in an interview today, this guy, this sheikh or something, Arab guy, Muslim, he was saying, you know, the next thing you're going to see is a rapid expansion of Israel throughout the Middle Eastern region. And it is going to bring some serious warfare in the Middle East and around the world. And then what's their faces today got involved. I was reading a little article. They said, be very careful what you do. If you try to hurt or bomb Iran, we will step in. And China said that to Israel. And we're so worried about the Epstein files, dude. I'm telling you, the more is global. And we're gonna be rocked by this. And
you know what's
so
crazy?
Consumed with the Epstein files.
You know what's crazy though? I don't give a fuck about the Middle East. I don't give a fuck about China. I don't care about Canada. I don't care about
it, but you need to give a fuck about it. It may affect you more than you realize.
It will, but you know what? You know what's going to affect me more is knowing that the people that I buy stocks from, the people that I buy gas from, the people that I fucking take my kids' pictures at school, that's going to really fucking affect me. And if we have people who literally are just running around this motherfucker like doing whatever they want, I don't give a shit about Israel and Iran and fucking China. So let me segue about a guy that has recently come up and another one that we were told not to like, okay? We were told he's a fucking rhino. He's a fucking dickhead. You don't want to listen to him. He's an asshole because he doesn't agree with Trump. So Trump outs him as an asshole. You ever heard of Thomas Massey?
Yeah, that name sounds very familiar.
So I think he works in the House he's a Republican for, I think, Kentucky or something. And
yeah, I think so.
So he goes along with Trump, but he didn't sign. He like fought against the big beautiful bill. There's certain things that he won't go on board with. The other day there was a vote and there was only one Republican that voted nay, and it was him. So, and we're told that he is a rhino, he's a fucking Democrat, and don't, blah, 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 blah. Well, the more I look into this guy, I'm like, wait a minute. He goes, he takes an American first stance. Remember how we talked weeks ago about America first? He has a stance that he calls America only. And it goes back to what we talked about months ago on our shows about.
What was his name again?
Thomas Massey, Massie. And he goes back to, we can't be sending money to Ukraine. We can't be sending money to Israel. We can't be fucking fighting wars for we need to focus on America and America only. And I thought about that and I was reading it and I was like, I could get on fucking board with that. America only? Fuck yeah, dude. And that's how I feel right now. Right now, I feel like it's good versus evil, America only. We have fucking problems in our house and we need to fix that shit.
Yeah, but you say good versus evil, America only. Do you understand how much of the world's evil comes out of this house that you're talking about defending?
Yes.
So much goddamn evil, and it affects things in the world. I don't think that an America only thing is a reality. I don't think America only will ever be a reality again because it's not about America only. We have borders that are drawn on a map and we call this America and that, but it's one world. And as long as you're going to have one currency that dominates the world, you're going to have to sleep in bed with Israel and China and this. An America only mentality, in my opinion, is weak. I don't think
when I hear America only, what I think is we need to be focusing only on America to fix America.
I understand. And we have had this discussion about fixing what's within.
So you think that that's just a terrible
not a reality anymore. I think let's say the first bullet point that came up for Massey when I looked him up really quick, the first bullet point, reducing U.S. military involvement overseas. If we stop that and reduce that, What do you think these other superpowers that are against an American agenda are going to do, knowing that we're not patrolling the waters of these? Like right now, we have a whole entire issue with Iran. I think that's going to be one of the potential big things that happens, to stop this whole entire Epstein thing. These motherfuckers have shot at our U.S. aircraft carriers with drones. The
Yeah, I
amount
heard
of
about that.
damage they would have done if they hit them would have been huge. And within 3 hours, World War III would have started.
So why didn't we attack them? All we did was shot down the drone.
Yeah, we shot
Right?
down the drone because to us, it's a joke. We could shoot down their drones effortlessly. My point is, if one of them connects because of a malfunction or a glitch or somebody being stupid and not paying attention to something, and that drone hits a U.S. warship, dude, you're not going to need an act of Congress or anything. War will start within 1 minute of that act right there.
We're fucked.
We're so fucked. I think personally that a lot of this is why you can't have an America only attitude, because it's like saying you were in this relationship, you were the boss of this relationship for a very long time, and then all of a sudden you want to walk away from it and then tell that other person, all right, we'll figure out how to pay the bills and do this and do that. That person's going to collapse. Without us, we can't walk away from the relationship we created with the world. We've been the fucking police of the world forever. I don't think we ever step away from any of that. And then hear me out on this one too. Let's say we were to pull out, everybody hates Israel, right? But what they're forgetting is that Israel's so dangerous that if we do not protect them, if we do not stand up for them, and they are bullied to a dangerous point, dude, World War III can start from Jerusalem or Tel Aviv or Haifa. They have more undocumented nuclear weapons than any other country that is required to document what they have.
Let me ask you this. So I know Trump said something, and oh, dude, you know what? I'm so fucking tired of hearing. I feel like I've heard this like 5 times in the last 2 weeks. I hate hearing people say, we sent a strong worded message. Pam Bondi said that shit too. Trump was like,
Iran?
We sent a strong worded message.
Iran?
It's like, yeah, I'm like,
Iran?
what the fuck? Yeah. A strong worded message. Bitch, you ain't writing to your HOA. Like, fuck out of here. I think she shit the bed, dude. Her and Kash Patel need to fucking go. Where is
I
it?
still can't believe she's 60 years old.
That blew my mind.
Ridiculous.
That totally blew my mind. She must be eating fuck babies too, staying young. So
she was on that list. Her daily jerky.
Oh my god, the what's it called? Adrenochrome or something? That's in the kid's blood, the adrenaline?
Yeah. I don't know what it's called, but I know what you're talking about. And
I think it's called adrenochrome.
I remember sitting down on Market Street. It was right after COVID, and they had all the outdoor seating for all the restaurants right on the sidewalks there, where everybody created barriers and put tables out there for the restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember walking downtown. I lived down there. I was in this badass apartment downtown, and I was there for like 3 or 4 years. And I'm walking around downtown. It was the summer of 2021, and Epstein was all over the news. And I remember sitting down with these 2 guys. You know both of them. I'm not going to say their names on here. And we worked with both of them back in the day at Terrazzo's. And we were talking, and I was kind of heated about the whole entire, like, learning the Epstein thing. And I was telling him about, like, eating kids and drinking their blood and abducting children and how sex trafficking, all the things we're talking about now.
Yeah.
And I remember walking away thinking to myself, these motherfuckers must think I am crazy. Well, I'll tell you this. About a month ago, I was doing an Uber, and I picked up this chick. And I said to her, I was like, oh, I knew a family that lived in that house. And she said, who's the family? And I said the name. And she goes, oh, that's my dad. So we got to talking, and I was like, oh, yeah, I know your brother and all this stuff. We get to talking. And she calls him, her brother, from the back seat of my car. And he goes, oh, yeah, I know John Kay. And he sends her a text in the back seat of my car, and it's a video of me telling him about drinking baby's blood and
Oh my
all
God.
these things about the Epstein files. So it
That's
just
crazy.
makes me, really think, like, what in the fuck is going on
Yeah.
with any of this? These conspiracy theories really, truly are coming true. I'm scared. I'm worried. I don't know about you, but I think the worst is still to come, and I don't think we can have an America only.
Well, like you said at the beginning, there's gonna have to be. I mean, people are like they are so infatuated with this story, and there's not going to be the only result is the top finish. So this is not something that just goes away. This is not going to be something that is going to work itself out. This is something that people are tired, dude. They're over it. They're over, like you said, paying taxes and the whole stuff with Minnesota. And people were like, what are we fucking doing, dude? Like,
Yeah, but
I'm
you
not going to
say we're
be.
tired. When are we gonna like say, okay, everybody meet up on the blah blah blah, and it's time to?
And
When is that
that's what
happening? You know,
that might be the thing you're talking about. You know, that might be the final straw where everyone's like, you know what? Women stay home. If, anyone between this age and this age meet at this, you know, I don't know, man. People get crazy, dude. People get weird. And especially
there's
when,
the. I still feel though that there are so many people with the Shelley effect that
yes,
are not going to participate. We need all hands on deck, my friend. This is not a joke. This is a time to. Man, I'm scared to say the things that I'm thinking just
I
because
know.
it's
Well, you don't
that
have to.
drastic. It's that, you know.
I think people are waking up, and I think what's happening is people are definitely waking up. People are not happy. Going back to like the whole thing with Trump, like Trump will be remembered for how he handles the Epstein case. And when I say that, I mean they're not going to remember the 8 wars that he solved. They're not going to remember whatever, the ballroom. They're not going to remember him for that. They're going to remember him for how he handled this particular thing. And he's either going to come out as the fucking Lord and Savior who put everybody, drained the swamp and put them where they needed to be, or he's the one that was bought as a puppet.
Well, we
And
still have the subpoena happening. I think it's February 27th with Bill
with Hillary,
Clinton and
yeah.
Hillary. Yeah. So
So,
I also believe, Ronan, and people need to sit back. He said, let it be, stop talking about it, or whatever he's doing. I have no idea. Maybe that's just the way his mind works in such a cynical way, and he probably is like, let's see what everybody says and does. And then when it's time to pounce, we're going to drop the hammer with such a heavy load of evidence. And I
well,
don't know.
let me. Okay, before we
Because
land
you
the
are
plane,
right. You are right. If he doesn't do anything about it, it's the nail in his coffin. If he does something about it, he does go down and remembered as
the great,
Superman,
yeah.
you know?
So before we land the plane, let me throw this out here because I want to. I just want to say this because if it happens, I want to be able to say, go back to the fucking February 15th show, bitch. So Ghislaine Maxwell had a hearing the other day, and
She got moved.
she basically pled the fifth to everything.
Yeah.
She was supposed to come out and fucking play ball, right? Like she was supposed to come out and say some things and all of a sudden now that she didn't do that, they're like, "You know what, bitch? She had like this cushy little spot, like she was on vacation, dude. Like she had a nice little gig going and it wasn't anything too stressful." So now anytime I hear the word Clinton, I just think people all of a sudden forget how to swim. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
picking up what I'm putting down here?
Yeah.
So here's my bold prediction. All right. So the Clintons are testifying in like next week, right? Something like that. So now they're talking about transferring Maxwell to a different situation, maybe one that's not so comfortable, maybe one that's a little bit more rugged and rough because she didn't fucking play ball. Let me find out something happens to her in the next 10 days before
Nah,
they go out and talk.
nothing will happen. I don't think anything will happen to her.
So
If something happened to her, they are goddamn guilty. The fucking firing squad and the United States of America needs to fucking march. Everybody fucking kumbaya, holding arms with liberals and conservatives,
Purple
walking.
hair and MAGA hats.
Everybody hugging each other and loving on each other and fighting against the man.
So, let me ask you this, because I saw you posted something on Facebook. What was your thought on the Joe Biden was shot by a firing squad in 2018 and 19?
I can't find an actual file that says anything about that.
That seems a little weird. I don't know how I could
Ronan,
get on board with that one.
The minute, and it happens with everything, so please don't be naive. You are smarter than that. The minute anything comes out on the internet that holds 1% of truth, 99% of theory and gossip, follow it. So that's one of the many things that followed the release of the Epstein files. There's not one thing documented in the files. And the nice thing about ChatGPT is you can ask very direct questions for it to search for you. It will search for you.
You know what, dude? ChatGPT is one of them, man. I'm telling you, bro.
I understand, but find the fucking file and show me the file. The way I was able to pull up a file on Clinton talking about
the more I dig,
promoting sex parties for 12 and 13-year-olds.
The more I dig,
that's real.
Listen, the more I dig, the more ChatGPT tries to fucking shut me down.
No, ChatGPT has not shut me down. I've even been able to take actual files and say, hey, translate this for me, or, tell me what you know about it. All kinds of stuff. I haven't had any discrepancy.
So this episode,
I believe in beef jerky more than Biden getting killed.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm 100,000% all in on the jerky.
The jerky
Guarantee
is disgusting, man.
So this episode was about good and evil, and all we've talked about was evil. Can we bring a little bit of good into this? One person I would like to apologize to with all my heart. I always thought this motherfucker was super weird because I was told he was weird, was Michael Jackson. I don't think any of that shit was true, what happened to Michael Jackson. I think he was the exact opposite of what they told us. I think he was trying to protect these children from this kind of bullshit. So I do apologize to Mr. Michael Jackson. We forgot to mention that Jay-Z and Beyonce's bitch ass was all over. Jay-Z's going to go down, bro. The motherfucker's going to go down like a bag of shit. Anyway, so a couple good ones I'd like to throw out. That's what we hope
for. I don't think any of these elites are going down. They're too intertwined with each other. They have so many businesses, and
one can hope 50 Cent will bring Jay-Z down by himself the same way he brought down Diddy. So 3 people I want to say that I believe in all my heart were good, and they were all accidentally unalived in the same 7 or 8 months. Chester Bennington, the lead singer from Linkin Park, Anthony Bourdain, and why am I having a blank now? The dude from Soundgarden, Chris Cornell. Those 3 were working on a project together about child trafficking and things like that, and they were looking to do something like a documentary. I think it was called The Silent Children or some shit like that. They were working on some project, and a lot of people say it might not have come to fruition, but rumor on the street is they were working on something, and all 3 of them died pretty closely together. I know that Bennington and Cornell were super tight. So
interesting.
Those are my goods. And Denzel Washington, I believe he's a good guy.
And the crazy thing is, somebody who wants to do good for children or good for any cause and uses their own time, money, resources to make a foundation and to bring awareness to people, it confuses the shit out of me to only find them dead. What? That's not some little joke of a hobby project that they're working on. They're working on some real shit to try to bring awareness, and then all of a sudden they're unalived.
Especially Bennington and Cornell, they died within, I think it was 3 months of each other. It was July and August or June, and it was mad close, dude. And it was and it was all suicide. There's too many suicides of people. I don't know. Anytime somebody gets too close, I say all the time, I can swim. I'm not depressed. You know, it's crazy. All right. Well, what about you? Got any good out there?
As of lately, no, not really. I mean,
Everybody's
everybody's bad. It's just ridiculous. You know, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. I was like, the world is angry. You know,
yeah, they're
if
mad.
you piss somebody off, they feel the need to be vindictive and blast you on Google reviews and things like that. Like, I don't know, man. I think it's ugly. I think it's shameful. Like, people can make mistakes. You know, I can understand if, let's say, you go into an establishment and every time you go in, the same problem or a problem happens every time. Eventually, you get tired of it and then you use Google to that extent. But
Let me ask you
people are
before.
just mad and angry, and
Yeah, people are
or you have the Shelley effect and they don't give a fuck and they're so disconnected, and that too is dangerous. You
people are
know,
mad. People are very angry, and their tempers are fucking short. And like I said, the same thing is happening with me, dude. Like the smallest shit now, like pushes me over the edge, and I'm a super chill guy, dude. Like so. Anyway, I want to ask you something before we go. We haven't talked about the halftime.
yeah,
So honestly, I'll be completely honest with you. I have not seen the Bad Bunny one. I
I
saw
watched
like
it.
clips of it, but I never watched. I didn't even watch like a replay of it because I just knew that I was not going to fuck with it. But I did watch the TPUSA one. I thought it was okay. I mean, between the two, it was the better show of what I saw from the replay of the clips of Bad Bunny. But it was something that was new. Obviously, we've never seen that before. I don't know where the fuck the NFL's at, like mentally. Like, why are you putting this guy who's speaking Spanish? It's not even bilingual Spanish, it's just like straight Spanish. And then come to find out, the lyrics were like super sexual, and they would have been, the FCC would have banned the shit out of them if it was in English. So it's like, well, so what? You can talk about fucking people and their vagina and shit like that, but as long as it's in Spanish, like that don't make no sense. The thing I will say about the TPUSA is I think motherfucking Kid Rock was lip singing.
I mean, who gives a shit about that? That's nothing. More important than one show versus the other, to be honest with you, is when you have people on social media defending one versus the other, and then you see ugly things like this. I saw this lady, she posted something on one of the fucking platforms, and it was debate about which show was better or which show did you watch. And this lady says, if you tuned out of the NFL at halftime to watch the Turning Point USA
You're a
concert,
bigot.
you're the problem, you're the racist.
Yeah.
That bothered me, and I'll tell you why it bothered me. It bothered me for many reasons. One, the NFL pushed people to do that in such a time. Why aren't we having something patriotic to
250 years.
to bring people's attitudes into a positive light? Instead, we're poking the bear, and that's where I think you have like masters at propaganda
Mm-hmm.
telling the NFL, hey, you really could help us out right now by doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Get this guy on stage, have him do everything anti-American,
And we'll
have him
send you
do
some jerky.
everything pro-trans. Ronan, there is a scene in one of the pieces of the NFL halftime show where right over Bad Bunny's left shoulder, there's a neon sign that says EBT accepted here. Like, come on, dude. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, talk about
What?
slapping it in our face. That is slapping it in our face to the max.
I
Yes,
saw
I understand.
there was a scene where those two dudes like dry humping each other in the truck or something.
Dude, even that, like any of it. I honestly believe that Bad Bunny is not sitting there with like production teams saying, "Hey, why don't we have this neon there and have two guys here and this happening here?" No, 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 no. It's a propaganda master who is literally walking in and saying, "All right, I'm in charge of this set right now. Anything said going forward is to like he's like
Did
the
you
Men in Black." And then at the end of it, he's like, "All right, everybody, look at this light."
Did you see any of the videos of like the after, like people in the like the videos of the crowd in the stadium? They were all sitting there like, "What the fuck is this?" Like none of them were dancing, dude, and
It's
they certainly weren't
ridiculous.
singing.
No, I honestly think it's bigger than that. I think everything is bigger than that. I think the way Trump released the Epstein files is bigger than that. I think there's still a lot more to come. A lot more to
Well,
come. I don't
I hope.
agree with stock like Microsoft skyrocketing right now. You know, the Dow was at 50,000 the other day. Like, that's
Well,
unheard of with all of this nonsense coming out and success.
I think we're gonna have a crash this week. There's gonna be a crash tomorrow for sure. I hope, because I bet on it.
Jesus
Anytime I hear government shutdown, I'm shorting the shit out of it, and you know, and all it takes is one fucking tweet to fuck me up. Anyway, well, ladies and gentlemen, that's your good and evil. There's a lot of evil, not a whole lot of fucking good.
Not a lot of good.
But you know what is good? Me and this fucking guy. You know, we're out here trying to fucking humor you through these dark times, and we're just trying to fucking get through ourselves. So check us out on PTE YouTube, the PTE Show. Follow us on TikTok, where we get a fucking make our typos and we like to have some fun with. But you know, check us out next week when we get our stuff on here. You guys have a good weekend. Johnny, you want to take us out here, bud?
Yeah. Just remember, we are the PTE Show. You can find us on YouTube at the PTE Show, TikTok at the PTE Show. And remember, guys, this is for entertainment only. We're just trying to have fun. The world is ugly. And, you know, I'd rather be doing this than anything else.
Jerky.
So. Jesus Christ, that is fucking... Dude, I hope none... Oh, my God. It's true. It is true. Look, we're trying to get out of here. You say one word, and I think of... I'll never be able to eat jerky again in my life. I'm like, oh, my God, I'm eating baby.
I love jerky, too. It's all fucking ruined.
All right, everyone. Have a good night.